Hi, my name's Katie, and welcome to Jefferson College's PACE series. I am going to be assisting you as you learn how to do some crochet projects. This is going to be a hot pad, and this here is a little beret that you can make and wear in those cold months. Um, Whether you are an experienced crocheter or someone who has never crocheted or hooked a day in your life, why don't you join us on this adventure as we go through and work on these projects? We are going to be an online series, but there are going to be 4 dates, September 22nd, October 1st, October 28th, and November 9th, where I will be here in the library helping clarify any problems that you may be having or struggles you maybe have with the crocheting project. So if you've crocheted, you're welcome. If you've never crocheted, you're more than welcome as well. So let's get started. All right, welcome to the PACE series. Today we're going to be working on making this crochet pot holder. The first step though is to make this, and then we will add the lines, and we don't crochet the lines in it until we get this done. So we're going to make this square first and go from there. So I am using the sugar and cream yarn. It's a nice cotton blend. You can use whatever you like, but I find that cotton tends to hold up best whenever you deal with heat and protect your hands and such from that, as opposed to an acrylic yarn. So the gauge that we're looking for is going to be 7 single crochets and 12 rows tall. So we're going to start off by making a magic circle. And if you guys are not a magic circle, I'm sorry, a slip stitch. If you guys are not familiar with the terms that I'm using, there are going to be links in the pattern so that way you can follow along with tutorials to help you along. So, but again, if you have issues or concerns or you're not getting those tutorials, you need in-person help, I will be happy to help you. So I already know that this yarn and this hook is good for the gauge size that I need. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into the pattern. I'm going to crochet 29 chain stitches. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And if at any point you need to stop the pattern because I'm going a little too fast or stop the video, feel free to stop it or fast forward it. If you're just looking to skip the next stitch, it's not going to hurt my feelings. So I've got 29 chain stitches here. So I am going to double crochet in the 3rd chain from the hook. So I've got chain number 1 there, chain number 2, chain number 3. So I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook there in that back ridge hump. So I've got 3 loops on my hook now. I'm going to yarn over, pull up a loop. So I pulled through that back hoop that I went through. So I have 3 loops on my hook still. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over again in the top of that next chain stitch. Pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, top of that chain stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So I've got three double crochets, 1 in each of the next 3 chain spaces. So I'm going to chain 1, skip my next chain, and do 3 double crochets in the next 3 stitches. So we'll skip this one, and then we'll double crochet in these next 3 stitches. So, I got 4 loops on there. So I'm going to yarn over, pull up my loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Double crochet in the next chain stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. One more time, yarn over, insert and go into that chain stitch, pull up the loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Okay. So what you just did there was this right here. Created that, 1 space, and then that again. So we're just going to continue that pattern on across as we go. So we're going to chain 1, we're going to skip the next chain 1 space and double crochet in each of the next chain 3 There's one, insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through two, pull through two, one more, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through two, yarn over, pull through two, chain one. So now we've gone through here. So yarn over. So now we've done these first four. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One thing I've always considered doing with this pattern is making a bunch of little blocks and then sewing it together and making a blanket. I've yet to do that. That I probably would not do in cotton. I would do it in something that's more of an acrylic blend. That would be a lot of squares though. I know we're calling this a hot pad. This is not something I necessarily would recommend using to take stuff hot out of the oven. But if you are setting something on the dining room table, this is perfect for setting underneath to keep your table from getting the heat directly on it. And we got the last skip and then 3 more double crochets to the end of our chain. So something else I like using these things for is my mom calls them mug rugs. And I have a couple kids. And so, of course, in the summertime or any time of year, really, they grab a cup and they set it down and then they need a drink again and they go grab another cup. And now I've got 15 cups out and 2 kids and nobody knows whose cup is whose. So I'll have the kids set their cups on one of these and it's great because they know that that is theirs. So, okay, we've gone all the way across. Now we're going to go on to row 2. So what you're going to do is you're going to chain 2. So there's 1, 2, and then you're going to turn your project. Okay, so looks like the back side of your project. You're going to yarn over, insert your hook in the top of that last double crochet that you made, and in the next 2. So there's 1, yarn over, on top of the second double crochet, on top of that third double crochet. Oop. You're going to chain 1, skip this chain 1 space, and then you're going to double crochet in the top of those next 3 double crochets. So you're going to chain 1, double crochet, or skip this stitch, and then double crochet in those next 3. So what we're making is we are making this row now. So we did this first row. Now we're doing the stack on top. So that way we'll be able to take the yarn, the line up through the hot pad here in a minute, once we get it completed. And I know this pattern, I said you did 29 chains. This pattern can be made larger, so you could take this and make it longer simply by adding multiples of 4 plus 1 at the very end. So chain as many as you want as long as it's a multiple of 4. Had 1 extra chain at the end, and you can continue this pattern even longer than what we are doing and make it a bigger project if you need to. If you want to make it into a table runner, that'd be really pretty, a table runner for like holiday or something where you add like green and gold stripes to a red background. That might you want to do with something that's more of a thread or fingerling kind of fabric as opposed to a heavier acrylic. Let's master this one first, then we'll look at other ideas for the same stitch pattern. My yarn's not in a nice neat ball because I actually did this pattern yesterday just to verify that I had my numbers right. And then I ripped it all out so I could repeat it today. So it's just wrapped around into a ball. Okay, so we double crocheted there at the end of our stitch. So we're going to chain one and turn, or I'm sorry, chain two and turn. So this is going to be row 3 now. So you're going to double crochet in the top of the next stitch, or that last double crochet that you did. You're going to chain one. You're going to skip the next double crochet and double crochet in the top of that double crochet. So yarn over, double crochet, going to chain one. You're going to skip that chain one space and double crochet in this next double crochet. We're going to chain one, skip next double crochet stitch, yarn over, double crochet in the top of the next double crochet. So what we're doing here is we're making this part of the pattern here where you got the spaces in between, which will be the holes that we need for taking it across the pattern. And we're just going to continue that pattern where you chain one, skip a stitch, yarn over, double crochet in the next stitch, chain one, skip a stitch, yarn over, double crochet in the next stitch. You're just going to repeat that all the way across. And your holes should line up as you go up. Those holes should stack on top of each other because you got to take that yarn up through that pattern. So if you've got a hole that's all of a sudden off to the side just a bit, you may want to go back and double check because you may have not counted something properly, because they should just stack right on top of each other from one row to the next. Getting down to the last end of the row here. Double crochet in our last stitch here. And that's it. That's the pattern. That's just going to repeat every single row from here on out. So let's get this next row done. This is a little bit tricky as you are crocheting in chain one spaces where you haven't done that yet before. So we're going to, this is going to be row 4. You're going to double crochet in the top of the first double crochet. So right here. Then you're going to double crochet in the chain one space. So we're just going to go into that space there. We're not going to go into the stitch, just into the space. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, go into the top of the next double crochet stitch. I'm pulling through extra yarn threads there. There we go. Okay, now you're going to chain one and you're going to skip that chain one space, double crochet in the top of the next double crochet. You're better off just throwing that on the floor and letting it roll. You're going to yarn over, double crochet in the top of the, you're going to yarn over and double crochet in the chain one space again. Yarn over, double crochet in the top of the next double crochet. Chain one. You're going to skip this next chain one space. Double crochet in the top of the next double crochet. Double crochet in the chain one space. Double crochet in the top of the next double crochet. And you're just going to continue repeating that all the way across the row. Right. And from there, you're just going to continue repeating. So this last row we just did is this one here. So there's the row that has the extra holes in it. Then we just did this row here. You're going to do row 2 twice more, and you're going to repeat row 3. You're going to go 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, and then we're done. So we're going to stop there. I'm going to change over to this yarn. I'm going to rip some yarn out, and I'm going to show you guys how to do the edging on the project. So this is just a repeating pattern. Again, if you need to, go back to the beginning of the video and you can watch it again. I'll be in the library those dates that I mentioned. If you want to come in and you want some one-on-one assistance, I'd be happy to help you. So I'm going to pause the camera, and when I come back, we'll be working on the pink here. All right, so here we are. We've completed all the rows here to this full size, and we're going to work on the edging now. So this row here, we did the row 3, row 4, this is row 2. So again, if you want to make yours larger than this, that's perfectly fine. This is the size that I want though. This is the size that works for me and what I'm needing. So I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to work a single crochet into the corner here. And then I'm going to make 1 into the end of this row. And as I work this, there's really no precise number to this. You're just simply going to crochet in the end of each row as you go down. And if you find that it's starting to kind of curl up, you're going to unstitch it and add an extra stitch in there. You don't have to have 1 in each row. And 1 in each row is probably going to be too few. You probably need to have 1 in every, like you probably need to have 3 over the course of 2 rows, if not 4. So don't stress about it if all of a sudden you've got a bunch of extra stitches in there. You can always take them out if you need to. So you're simply going to work 1 stitch into the end of each row as you go across. If you feel, like I said, you need a little bit more, put another one in there. If you feel like you need 1 fewer, take 1 out. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, and I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I'm doing roughly 2 stitches for the end of each row. So it just puts a nice edge on it. So if I want to join it, as I mentioned, possibly doing a blanket and joining the pieces together, I can. It also helps to keep it, helps to square it up so it's not so ruffled on the outside edge. So it's this type of an edge versus this edge. So it just looks a lot cleaner and a lot more finished, if you will. This is something that, like, I've crocheted for 25, 30 years of my life. So I have done a lot of edging on projects. So like right there, it may be a little tight, and I can always back it out and put an extra stitch in there. But I've done a lot of edging. So a lot of it for me is feel. I don't necessarily pay as close of attention to the edging process as you might, or as I did whenever I first started crocheting. And even then, a lot of it depended on what type of project I was doing. But I did a lot of blankets and afghans whenever I first started, so it got a lot of practice. So my mom taught me how to crochet. Something she did, something that actually her babysitters taught her as a child. And so she's like, come on, I think you'll like this. So one summer, she taught me how to crochet. So I'm back down here to the end, and this isn't going to make a nice tight right turn. So what I actually do is I'm going to work 3 crochets into the end of this corner here. So one's kind of in the end of the row, one kind of helps with the rotation, and then one is at the top. And then I'm going to crochet 1 stitch in each across. So a stitch in the double crochet, stitch here, stitch in this hole. I'm not going to go into the chain stitch that's there. And as I do so, I'm going to take the end from starting this project, this end here. So I started my chain stitches here. So that's what this one is from. And I'm going to crochet that onto the top of this here, so I don't have to deal with tying it in later on. So with it being the chain row, it will be a little bit tighter. So I'm just going to continue doing that all the way across. And then whenever I get down to that corner, I will do 3 chain stitches in there as well. as I continue to work my way around. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will meet you guys whenever I get back here, and I will show you where we go from there. All right, so I made my way all the way around, and I've got my last stitch there in the top of that first corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull, I've cut it, so I'm going to pull this all the way out. And then the way I join, so I don't have a big lump, is I'm simply going to insert my hook in that first single crochet that we did, pull my tail through it, and then that last single crochet that I did, I'm going to go up into one half of it. So not through both loops. I only want one. So we'll go through both of the, or one of those. I'm going to wrap that tail around there. I'm going to pull it down through. Give it a little tug. And there we go. Can't really tell that I've got it joined in there as opposed to the traditional way of joining at the end of each row. So now I'm going to show you guys how to start working on these patterns. And again, just like everything else, I'm going to start it. I'm going to show you guys how I do it. You guys are welcome to watch the video over and over again, but I'm not going to do all of these rows. I'm just going to show you one. All right, so we're going to show you how to do one row. We're just going to do this first row across here, and then from there you guys can add your other colors in as you would like to. So you're actually going to work with your yarn behind the front of this. I've got my edge where I've got my chain stitches or my single crochet stitches in, and my first double crochet right there. I'm going to insert my hook there, and I'm just going to grab my yarn. What I didn't tell you guys, so I've got this yarn. I've simply given myself 2 strands of the exact same yarn. If you want to mix match the yarn, that's perfectly fine. I'm a little too OCD to do mix matched yarn like that. So I'm going to go with the single color, but 2 strands of it. I'm going to pull that loop through this between the edging and between the edging and my double crochet. I'm going to insert my hook into that next space. I'm going to yarn over and pull that loop up to that space and then chain. So these are just a bunch of chains. It's just you've got to work from the back of the fabric. So same thing, going to insert it into the next chain space, yarn over, pull it up, pull through. This is something you don't want tight. If you pull it tight, you can kind of see how it puckers here at the edge. That's what happens if you pull it tight. So you want to make sure you keep it nice and loose. So again, go into that chain space, yarn over, pull up, pull through. And you're just going to continue that all the way across. As you get more comfortable with the feel of the yarn, you won't have to flip it over to yarn it over. You can just stick your hook in and pull it up, then pull through. And if you need to, pull a little extra through, and you can always tighten it back down by pulling on the yarn here. So that way you don't end up with the puckering. So I can see it's kind of puckering here, so I probably will pull it out and restart it because yarn does not have a whole lot of give. So you're just going to continue that all the way across, and then we can cut it off. All right, so I have chained all the way across and filled in that row. So I'm simply going to take my little cutter here. This is nice. It's a Clover brand. I could take it on the plane and not worry about them taking my scissors and cut off that extra bit of yarn. I'm just going to pull it through. I'm going to pull it to the back side, and then I will sew it into that back side of my row there. So that's what you're going to have. Got a little bit of a space there. I'm not too worried about it though. So that's what that looks like on that. So thank you so much for sticking around and being a part of this. You're able to go ahead and do whatever colors you want to finish up the rest of that pattern. Remember, if you have any questions, I will be here in the library to help you with anything moving forward. So happy hooking. So welcome back to the Pace series. I am going to work with you, and we're going to crochet this beret hat. So there's going to be a few different options you can do with that, but we'll get to that in a minute. So this is the yarn I used for it. It's nice and soft. I find it to be fairly durable. It's got a really nice selection of colors. And I'm telling you this yarn I bought a few years ago. So the With Love series from Red Heart may not be what it is currently called. They may have renamed it. But anyway, find something you like, and just as long as you are sticking with the correct gauge, it doesn't matter what yarn you are using if it's something that you like. So again, with this, if you're not familiar with the terms that I am using, we have tutorials linked in the actual written pattern that you can follow. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and just go. If you are having issues, we are meeting in person several days, so you're welcome to come back and watch and bring your project, and I'll be happy to help you with that in person. But we're going to go ahead and get going. So I actually start this pattern off with a magic circle as opposed to a chain circle because it allows you to pull a tighter hole at the top and you don't have like this random circle at the top. So that's why I'm doing a magic circle. But again, if you don't know how to do that, you are welcome to watch the YouTube tutorial. All right, so we're going to start with a chain 2. And we're going to do 3 double crochet cluster in our stitch. If you did the hot pad or the mug rug pattern, you know what a double crochet is, but now we're going to join them together. So we're going to yarn over, insert our hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through twice. A traditional double crochet is going to have you yarn over again and pull through these last 2 hoops, but for the cluster, we're going to yarn over again, insert our hook into that magic circle, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we've got 3 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over, insert our hook, pull up, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we have 4 loops on that hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 of them. Now we've got a double crochet cluster, and it's a 3 double crochet cluster because we do 3 double crochet stitches halfway through, and then we finish it off all together. From there, we're going to chain 3. So there's 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do a 3 double crochet cluster 4 more times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 2 loops. Got 4 loops on the hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through 2. So there's our second double crochet cluster. I'm going to bring this tail over here and work around this tail so that way I can pull it through and be nice and tight. I'm going to chain 3. So we're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2. So we got 2 double crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2. So there's 3. Yarn over and pull through all 3. So that is our third double crochet cluster. And I can pull this tail right here, and you're going to see that it'll kind of cinch it up a bit. So make it a little bit easier to work because that was getting to be a pretty big circle and it was just feeling very awkward in my hand. So we're going to chain 3, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, about 4 loops on that hook, pull through all 4 of them. So that was my 4th one in total. So we got 1 more to do, chain 3, yarn over, insert my hook. So I'm going a little bit faster now, guys. With years of experience comes speed. Do not try to go my speed just because you think you need to. All right, so now I'm going to cinch this down close, nice and tight. There we go. Going to I'm going to finish this row off by inserting my hook in the top of the double crochet cluster. So that's where I yarned over and pulled through all 3 double crochets and tie them together. So insert there, yarn over, pull through that loop. So now we just made a slip stitch. I'm going to insert my hook in that first chain 3 space, pull up a loop. I'm going to drop this yarn and pick up my second color. I'm going to yarn over and pull through both of those. So technically that's like a broken apart single crochet, but that's how I do the color change out. I find that it doesn't create a big noticeable point whenever you're changing the colors out. Okay, so row 2. So the rest of the pattern, with the exception of the edging, is just going to be a variation of this here. It's going to vary how many of these you put together, how many chains you put together. So if you got this part down, the rest of the pattern should be easy for you. But we're going to go ahead and continue on for a little bit, probably through another row or 2, and then I'll let you guys finish it up on your own. So I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to do 3 double crochet cluster, chain 3, 3 double crochet cluster in this chain 3 space. So yarn over, insert your hook, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to yarn over, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through all 4 loops again. So there I've got a double crochet cluster, chain 3, double crochet cluster in that chain 3 space. I'm going to chain 3 and do the exact same thing in all other chain 3 spaces. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2. I've got 4 loops on my hook, pull through, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Same thing again in that same chain 3 space. Okay, so we got 2 chain 3 spaces taken care of. Now we're going to move on to these next 2. Again, guys, I've had quite a bit of experience with crocheting. I've taken a bit of a break here recently, so don't try to keep up with my speed. So here I'm looking at this going, why do I only have 3 loops on my hook? I know I've done 3 double crochets. Well, I pulled through an extra loop, so I'm simply going to back my hook back through it. Now I have my 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through. Chain 3, next chain 3 space. Yarn over, pull through all of those. 1, 2, 3 chains, and then another cluster. Chain 3. Oop, and then we got our last set of chain 3 space to work into. Get some more yarn out here. And chain 3. All right, so there we go. So this is just I keep messing with this part here. You may have noticed me in the video a bit messing with it. I'm simply going to carry this up to the next row, so I don't want to cut that off. Otherwise, I have extra ends to tend with. And if you've done any sort of crocheting in your life, you understand you don't want to deal with extra ends. So you leave them if you can. All right, so I'm going to join in to the top of that first double crochet cluster, pull up a loop, and pull through. So I did a slip stitch. I'm going to insert my hook into this next chain 3 space, pull up a loop. I'm going to drop this color, pull up my first color, so blue. I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2. Again, I'm going to leave this string hanging there because I don't want to have to tie in extra ends. So I'm going to chain 2, and in row 3, we're going to do a 3 double crochet cluster, chain 3, 3 double crochet cluster in the same space. I'm going to chain 3, and then I'm going to do 1 double crochet cluster here. I'm going to do chain 3, and I'm going to do 2 double crochet clusters with a chain 3 between them in that chain space. So that's the pattern you're going to have for that one, and you're just going to continue repeating that around. So you have a 1, a 2, you're going to do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and the pattern would just continue around, but you're just going to join in and then carry that that gray thread up and just continue on with making the patterns. So I'm going to let you keep working on this, and I will meet back with you, and I will actually be using a yellow and gray hat to show you how to do the edging on this thing so you can see how to finish it. So I'll see you then. Okay, so here I am again. I'm simply going to, after completing this row, I've got it joined, and that's my last row. So I've cut off my yellow yarn, leaving myself a tail. I've joined in the top of the double crochet cluster. I'm going to insert my hook into the chain 1 space, pull up a loop, switch back over to my gray yarn, and pull through both loops. I'm now going to actually take a step back, insert my hook into that same as the joining, so the top of the double crochet cluster on this one. I'm going to insert my hook there, yarn over, pull up a loop, and pull through both loops to complete a single crochet. I'm going to single crochet in that chain 1 space. We're going to single crochet in the top of that double crochet cluster. And that is what I'm going to do all the way around. So this edging is very simple. It's a basic single crochet around. If you have some prior skills with crocheting, you are always welcome to improvise a little bit. A front loops or a back loop single crochet could be nice for a little detail on it. You could do a crab stitch on it, whatever you prefer. So the idea is simply that you're going to create an edging for yourself, because this here probably wouldn't work so well for an edging. You see how it stretches, where this one here is not going to stretch as much, and it provides a nice band there around the top of your head to help keep it in place. So I am not going to show you how to do this all the way around, because it is the exact same stitch. They do the exact same every single row unless you choose to improvise. Whenever you make your way all the way around, you're simply going to join into the top of that first single crochet. So insert your hook, you're going to pull up a loop, pull through both loops, and continue going around. So I've got 4 rows on here for your edging. If you want to do more, you're more than welcome to. I don't know if I would recommend doing less, just I think you're going to find that you don't like the way that it sets on your head by doing fewer than 4 rows, but that's part of doing an art project, which, I mean, yarning crochet is an art. You're free to make your decisions as to how you particularly want it, because it is yours. So anyway, happy hooking.